I always say that you have to be prepared. So I'm always prepared because I'm always like, what if Denzel Washington call me right now?
Yeah.
And a lot of times these opportunities we want, sometimes we'll get them and we aren't prepared because so many opportunities happen all the time because people love working with people that are honest, that are genuine and cool. So if you have those traits and you're a person of color, other people of color like working with each other too. So I just kind of stay ready.
Hey y'all, I'm your girl Brittany Shanae. Don't leave the E out. We are here for season 4 of In the Green Room podcast. I'm so excited to have you join me for yet another season. And of course, I have a very special guest with me today. I have my girl, Maya Table. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Y'all know how we start every episode of In the Green Room podcast. We have our affirmation station. So pretty much you are going to pull 2 affirmation cards and these are going to be your affirmations. A lot of times they are exactly what the audience and you need.
Okay.
So let's set the tone by starting with pulling some affirmations. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Let me go with here.
Uh-huh. And let's do one more.
Pull from purple.
All right.
Cute. All right. The first one, I am perfectly created. At the top it says I am whole. So I am perfectly created. I am a wonderfully unique individual. Every lesson I have learned, every risk I have taken, and every achievement I have made contributed to who I am. Because of that, I am whole. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh,
That's good.
That.
That's good.
Yes. I'm like, tattoo that on my arm.
Listen, because a lot of times we feel like we're pieces of ourselves because we go through so many different things, but those pieces make one whole, and everything we've experienced, they lead to who we are.
Yeah. Sometimes I tell myself, I'm like, oh, baby Maya would be so proud. Like Maya that was in high school, college, she would be so proud because she
Yes.
saw Maya today.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
What's
Okay.
number 2?
Ooh, I like this one. I am a creator. Boom. Everything around me began as a thought. My clothes, my home, and even the roads I drive on were once just thoughts. When I take time to contemplate my surroundings, I grasp all the thoughts that took place to create the world. Likewise, my thoughts have created things. My thoughts create my actions and therefore create my life as I know it. Therefore, I strive to think about my desires optimistically. I am a creator.
I mean, nail on the head, right?
Yes, it is. And one of my parents used to be saying, God is the most creative being. And I'm like, you are doggone Skippy.
Yes.
And sometimes we kind of put God in this box of what creativity is. But I'm just like, you created all these individuals to have that thought, to have that uniqueness, to have 2 people that love colorful hair.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then even, I try not to get overwhelmed by other directors and things. So I'm just like, the thoughts they created are for them and mine are mine. So we're all individual and no one's exactly the same. So I love this.
100%. So I am a creator and
I am whole.
All right. So those are our affirmations for the week. And these are your affirmations that are setting the tone for this episode. And I think they are beautiful affirmations to set the tone.
Yes.
So with that being said, Maya, who are you?
Oh, hey. My name is Maya Table. In my current role right now, I'm a director. And I only edit my own stuff. And I kind of keep it at that for right now. Yeah, right now is I direct a lot of music videos and commercials, and wanting to do more TV and a film here or there. But
I see that.
And also single and ready to mingle.
Listen, y'all heard what
you know how to reach me.
Call me Big Nate if you want to reach me. That's good. That's good. So Me and you connected on social media some years ago. I don't know how we connected, but I'm glad we did.
I found you. I forgot you did someone's face, and I had you in a saved album. And then I was directing that shoot for Nickelodeon, and I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, this would be great to have her on it."
We made some magic on that day. That was such a cool shoot. We got the opportunity to shoot a music video for That Girl Lele and Young Dylan. And the song was so fun. The shoot was fun. Um is that something that you love doing the most, the music videos, or is it because you do a lot of commercials as well, right? What is your favorite out of the music video or the commercial world?
I don't think I have a favorite
Okay.
because they all kind of have their things that are slightly annoying or if you feel like are boxing you in, but then you have other parts that are amazing.
Yeah.
And then also when we're in film school, they don't teach you like to love one or the over the other one.
Yeah.
Because music videos, they're the most creative because the directors, we write our own treatments and we get to have our own say. And it's usually like no middle people between us and the artist. Sometimes it is a few, but so, and also music videos get the biggest push. So now I've been trying not to get mad when people only think I do music videos. I'm like, because people don't know who did that commercial.
Right.
But commercials, the scale of pay on commercials,
Correct. Correct.
beautiful. I see why these white boys ain't trying to move out the way. I'm like, oh, that's why they ain't want to let me in. I get it now.
So speaking of that, let's take it back. What was your journey to becoming the director, Maya Table? Because I did a little research. You are an award-winning director. You have a background in editing, but you were clear to say that you only edit your stuff. Like I can very well understand why you say that adamantly, because you're dedicating yourself to directing and you can get pulled away from that.
Yes.
So walk me through the journey of becoming director, Maya Taylor.
Yeah, and that's actually what happened. I went to school for film at Georgia State University
Okay.
because Spelman didn't have a film program at the time, and SCAD wasn't here. So I went there, and I was going as a director, and I would like be on people's sets as an intern and a production assistant. And then somebody was like, "Well, to be a strong director, you should learn how to edit." So that's how I learned how to edit. And that was a game changer because you learn how to see the process from Z to A.
Yes.
So you see like, oh, this is what I need. And so I ended up loving editing. So when I was in school, different people would ask me, I was editing people's TV shows. They would come to my parents' house and I would edit like for PAX TV for probably like $5 and a chicken sandwich, whatever, just to get experience. And then
All in the dream.
yes. And then other friends would ask me to help them. And I found out that helping was actually producing.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into producing. And then also when I would edit, people would want me to edit bigger and bigger projects. So then I would have to like hire my friend that was a VFX artist or a graphic designer. So that's how the producing part of it happened. And then I just loved all aspects of production. So that's why it was okay to do all that stuff. And I love being able to see other directors like, oh, I see why this director made it over this one. But then at one point I was like, I hate producing actually. I hate it. I hate like I think I produce a lot too because I trust myself and my integrity and my honesty. And when you're coming up, it's hard to figure out who has the same like morals as you. And like as far as like paying crew, I'm very upfront with people and being kind. And a lot of people not like that. So that's how I ended up producing. And then I was doing it for so long, I forgot that like I just didn't like it as much. I was still like directing commercials for content. I went to commercials from like Make-A-Wish and the Atlanta airport and a bunch of other companies. Like one company, they used to make like lighting for buildings, and we would do me and my team would do like their animated videos. And then I would join different film groups. And in one film group, a lady from Nickelodeon was like, "Is there a Black post-production team?" And I was like, "Oh, I am." So then I started doing animations for Avatar Airbender for that series and SpongeBob. And then in 2019, I was like, I hate producing. And so
Straight like that.
yes, I hate producing. And then I think at that point I was double booked on the producing a shoot for Usher and Tiana Taylor on the same day. And I just hate I don't like the stress. I don't like how like people are, to each other. And so I decided, let me just stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lord, I'm gonna just say no to all these jobs. I'm gonna move back in with my parents because that would help me say no to other producing jobs, so I could just concentrate on rebuilding my directing portfolio. Because at that point, I only had directed stuff for like baby commercials,
Yeah.
so I was pigeonholing me. And so the next year, I moved back in with my parents. They loved it because they just yeah, 'cause they got a maid at home now. So they so I moved back then with into 2019, which was great because when 2020 happened and the pandemic, then I was at
Yes.
home with them because they are vivacious seniors. I had to like make them sit in the house and come
Vivacious.
very vivacious. And then so I was able to write a short film and start documenting my Uncle Poochie. 'Cause he
Yes.
wanted me to document him for a while, but he happened to come over at my mom's house to get his fur coat. And he was like, "Come on, take my picture." And that's how that journey started.
Wow.
And then I was even a nanny that year because I was like, "Lord, whatever you need me to do, I'll show you that I'm ready to pivot. I will do that."
So tell me, how did you become Maya Table, the director? I know that you produce, I know that you edit, but you were clear that you only edit for yourself. So where did you go to school? How did you get to where you are now?
Yeah. So I went to school at Georgia State University. Shout out to y'all. Got my film degree there. I was an arts and science major. And then from there, I did a number of internships. And there was a computer lab there called the Digital Aquarium where you had to teach students equipment. And so I worked there. So it's a different level of knowledge when you have to like internalize it and learn it
Yeah.
and to be able to teach it. And then someone there was like, well, if you learn how to edit, it will help you direct better.
Mm-hmm.
And which was amazing. And so from that, I learned how to produce and edit and do it. And I ended up doing it for so many friends and other people. And then in 2019, I came back to myself and learned that you know, you learn what makes your temper flare. And I was like, let me just edit my own stuff and only just direct stuff that I like.
Yeah.
And then I've been feeling so much more peaceful, at peace, and a lot
Good.
happier.
Good, good. Now, coming back home, what does that mean? Does that mean coming home to Atlanta? Does that mean
Coming back home and coming back home to yourself, that sounds real deep. But going back home to my parents' house. So
wow, okay.
I had moved back in with them just so I could like rebuild my directing portfolio.
Mm.
You know, because like every few years we all change. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not even the Maya I was yesterday. Like literally yesterday. I ain't even seen Maya today.
Listen.
You know? So it's like I want to rebuild my portfolio and represent who I was and what I felt in my heart. But to do that, I need to say no to tempting producing jobs just to make some money. So my parents welcome me in because they are just fabulous retired people. And I moved in with them and it helped me just like take a step back. And I also just made sure I didn't feel ashamed for doing that.
That's exactly what I was about to ask you, because so many people are afraid and feel so much shame for making a decision that's going to change the trajectory
Yes.
of your life, because I don't think about it as, and you can, piggyback off of this, but I don't think about it as a setback. I think that it's a set up
Yes.
for your future self, and
Yes.
it's giving you a second to recalibrate being at home
Yes.
with your parents.
Yes.
So tell me how that felt for you.
Yeah. And it's a blessing. Like I'm always in the state of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also quite with the shits.
Yeah.
I'm all
both. They can choose. They can both exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm always just like, there are so many people that don't have that opportunity to go back and feel the love of their parents and be supported. So I'm like, why not? And I always think about myself in 5 years, because the things you do today are affected by the things you do in 5 years. So I'm like, well, I would like to be proud of where I am and not looking back thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda. Let me just kind of take that moment and the energy I feel in my heart. Let me just move on with that energy.
That's such a mature point of view to have. And I feel like in the age of social media, social media almost sometimes forces you to compare yourself and your progress to somebody that you might have gone to film school with, and you see them doing these things at whatever age, and you think that you're supposed to. It's not always gonna happen. God's plan is not our plan.
It's
Like
not.
I feel like sometimes God cross his legs, fold his arms, and just sit back and get a good key
Yeah.
from us thinking we knowing
Yeah.
what we doing.
Yeah. And I'm so happy we didn't have social media like this, like when I was in high school. 'Cause I'm just like, you got to just create from your own thoughts and your own daydreams, not something that you saw someone else do and do the comparison thing. And I'm just like, and then I grew up with sisters,
Yeah.
a lot of cousins. We just had a lot of females, not because the dads weren't there, but just because like my dad had $3.
Yeah.
My aunt had 3,
Yeah.
and just so we were just built-in cheerleaders.
Mhm.
So I never had that jealous of somebody else kind of thing. If anything, I felt like if I had like my homegirl Lacey Duke, she's a director here. I remember when her career took off, I was so excited because I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be next."
It's in the neighborhood. It's in the neighborhood.
That's exactly what I felt. Yes. Mhm.
Yes, and I love that is the way you view life. We need more people to have that point of view and perspective. Cheer the next person on, especially if it's a friend.
Yeah.
If I'm touching elbows with somebody that's getting blessed,
Yes.
oh, it's on and popping.
Yes.
Now, speaking of the successes, what has been one of your favorite opportunities or just one of your favorite moments that you've had in your career as a director?
I told you, I'm in gratitude all the time. So I'm like, most of them, even a lot of the ones that get on my nerves, there are like special moments about them. But I would say it's always my number one would be my Uncle Poochie. Because
Please talk about, listen, let me tell y'all, if y'all do not follow Uncle Poochie